Am I the asshole? I don't know. You tell me. I probably am, but you tell me. And this is my story. You don't have to go to Reddit and find the OP. I am the OP. So here's the situation. We're playing poker. So if you don't know poker, you may not want to watch this video. If you do know it, we're playing tournament poker. I'm at a friend's place who actually is a tournament director and is actually at the table like in this seat, let's just say. Actually, it is correct because I laid this out almost exactly identical to what we're doing. The only thing is, I don't know the exact hand I even had. I think it was 7-9. I want to play. The blinds are 100, 200. There's the blinds, the button. We can come around to me. I'm over here in this corner, and I dealt like a suited ace. That's not what I had. I probably had like 7-9. It's in my range. Judge me. I don't care. But anyway, it gets to the person next to me in this. He's like, I'm over there, and they say, "Can I make it 1,000?" And they ask like the dealer who's sitting there, and he may be new. He goes, "Yes," and hey, yes, you can. That's a perfectly fine question, and the correct answer, yes, you can. But it's a question. Now here's where am I the asshole because I called her out on, is that because she throws in the 1,000, and I go, well, is that a one chip call then? Because yeah, she asked the question, and yes, you know that's probably her intention. She asked if she can make it 1,000. She didn't just throw it in. There was words. There was a conversation. Can I? There was a question. There was an answer. Yes, you can. But she didn't announce that it was a raise. She didn't say make it 1,000. Then that's what I want to do. No, she just threw in the one chip. And before he gets to the next guy, I asked the dealer. So is that a one chip call? And luckily, we have the tournament host director at the sitting to his right. Now she was distracted. She didn't see what had actually happened, so we had to explain it to her. And she kind of gave the sigh of like, technically, it's a one chip call because yes, you asked a question. It could have been anything, but you didn't announce your action, so that's a one chip call. So cool. So it gets to the next guy, and he calls for 200, and then I don't know what the button does, but the small blind and big blind come along. And then we're going to go to a flop, which comes thusly. And I'm going to do this one-handed. And yes, this deck is preset, but we got like, I put up 2. All right, so there's our flop. We got deuce 7 jack. Sorry, I'm doing this one direction because I got to flip everything in post-production. So deuce 7 jack, and so the blinds check, I check, and before we even get to that point, the host knows this lady, and she's like, I don't know why you guys caused a big fuss, because she's just going to move all in after the flop. And sure enough, she does. She goes all in. Boom, she's all in, and we got fold, fold, fold. And it gets to the small blind, and he kind of hems and haws about what she may or may not have. Ooh, I flipped that over. And he goes, but I call. He calls all in, and we're all pretty even stacked, but nobody else calls. So it's just him and her, heads up. And, of course, she's got a strong hand of pocket kings, and there's no ace on the board, so she's not too worried. But what does he have? The deuce 7 for a flopped 2 pair. And the board does not help her any. It just, I hope this is right. 8, and this isn't exact, but there you go. If it paired the jack, she could have won, but she doesn't. She loses to the worst hand in poker with arguably the second best hand in poker, her pocket kings. And then she gets all pissy about it. And even the host was like, I'm sorry about that. I will pay for your rebuy, which I thought was unjust. And she's like, no, I got money. She did not accept. So kudos to her for not accepting a pity rebuy. So, am I the asshole for calling her out on that, asking a question, but doing a one chip call? What do you think? Because here's the thing that really the thing is, okay, she didn't take the rebuy, but she hung around too. I could hear her in the background. This was a multi-table tournament. I could hear at other tables explaining everything that had happened. And not that she was embellishing in any way. She told the story exactly as it is. As far as I could tell, I was with the earshot, wasn't clear, but I was kind of enjoying it in a way. I might be an asshole for kind of enjoying it and holding on to this story for so long. This has been years ago, but what do you think? If you know poker, you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's a one chip call, but of course I wanted to play my hand for cheap, so I called out for it. I will say, I did not expect this to go that way. I didn't expect the ruling to go in my favor. I thought the host was going to call it like, no, she asked if she could make it 1,000, and she put out 1,000. I actually thought that's the way it was going to go. So I thought I was just being a smartass for no reason, and I was going to have to fold my hand to the raise. And so that's initially what I thought was going to happen. So I feel it makes me a little less of an asshole because I didn't mean for it to go this way. I didn't know the guy was going to call with deuce 7, even in the small blind. He defended. He called the extra 100. He didn't have to do that. Most people would just go ahead and fold the hand. They're out of position with the worst hand in poker. But I also know this guy. He's a wild card. He will defend. He will not let cards go that easily. Now, she even asked him, like, would you have called 1,000 if I'd made it 1,000? And he's like, no, I wouldn't have. And I don't blame him. He's not that much of a wild card, but he will defend a small blind early in the tournament, too. But what do you guys think? Am I an asshole?